On this foggy Thursday morning, 9th day of November. And we're looking for, let's see here, just foggy skies today as the chance of showers increase today, cloudy today, and a pretty good chance of showers later on today and tonight, and then cooling off by Football Friday tomorrow and becoming sunny. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, Northeast Front Street in downtown Jessup, by Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, Republic Services, the Minebridge Ford and Blackshear. And Bob, we got some guests in this morning.
Yeah, Veterans Day coming up. A lot going on, so we've got the ladies in here to tell us what's taking place for Veterans Day. Y'all here to talk about the parade or talk about the other events taking place?
Well, we're going to talk about both of them, actually. We're going to talk about the parade, and then she's going to talk about the events leading up to the parade.
Now, introduce yourself when you come on there and who you're with.
Okay, I'm Charity with Remax Elite.
That's right.
And I'm Susan Simmons with the VFW Auxiliary.
Okay. And Charity, tell us about the parade coming up and Remax Elite's involvement in the Veterans Day parade.
Okay. All right. The parade is actually going to be Saturday. Lineup starts at 3 p.m. And we're going to have a prayer prior to the national anthem, which will be at 3:45.
And where at?
And that will be right in front of the Strand. They're going to have it right in front of the Strand on Cherry Street. And then the parade will start at 4 o'clock, and we're going to go down Cherry Street, down to First Street, and then to Orange Street, because we have a lot of people actually getting in, so we had to extend it.
You did. So you're going to start on Cherry Street and then turn left on the First Street. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And go all the way down to Orange Street, all right, where the where Dairy Queen in the park is, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, and we just are very thankful for everybody that is pitched in, the community coming together. It's been a great turnout.
Awesome.
We have people calling now daily, especially after hearing us and wanting to participate and sponsor. And we have a ton of sponsors actually. We have Odom City Hall, Remax Elite, VFW, the VFW Auxiliary, Woody Folsom, Jessup Premium Storage, Odom Elementary, VIP Printing, Wayne County Cruisers, BB&T, Joey Smiles Photography. Phil Anderson's going to do the prayer. Hannah Thornton will be doing the national anthem, and then Mark Trudel, our sound guy. Brian Griffiths is going to be the MC, and then back to the other sponsors, Casey Davis with Veterans United, 911 Center. We really want to thank them for using their time and their building for having our meetings.
You've been having your meetings
there,
Okay.
And they've been great. And also our Veterans Committee. I mean, we couldn't have done it without everybody. We have a ton of people that have pitched in to help, numerous volunteers, and it's just been great.
Sounds like it's going to be one of the best Veterans Day parades we've had here in Jessup. Is that right, Susan?
Right. In the past, there's been more participants in the parade. There have been spectators, but this year I'm hoping that the streets are going to be lined with everybody, and just to show the support for the veterans in Wayne County. So we're looking forward to a great turnout this year.
Not only that, we expect it to improve as well. I mean, every year now that people know how the advertising and all that good stuff that we've been doing, and we want more involvement, and that's all. I mean, they deserve it as veterans, so we're excited.
All right, it all begins at what time again? Saturday?
The lineup's at 3, and the national anthem will be at 3:45. And then
which everybody will be standing, of course. This is South Georgia, okay?
And the parade will start at 4.
And the parade starts at 4. And tell us about the different themes you're going to have. Aren't you going to try to have the World War II vets together, the Korean, the Vietnam, the Gulf War right on?
4 different eras, and then we're also Remax is going to have our float, and then
we're having several different floats. The VFW is having one. I know the Remax is having one. We're looking for some more other people. We're going to have floats in. We're going to have fire trucks in there. The Shriners are coming. Every one of the units from the Shriners are going to be there, so it's going to be a good turnout.
I think so too.
Okay, a great Veterans Day parade here in Jessup, beginning at 4 o'clock on Veterans Day this Saturday, the 11th. So, do whatever you need to do during the day, but at around 3:30 start gathering in downtown Jessup and watch the parade beginning at 4 as we honor our veterans.
Just over the Veterans Day schedule here with you. Friday, which is tomorrow at 10 a.m., the Wayne County High School is putting on their Salute to Our Veterans program. For those of you that's never been, you really need to turn out. These high school kids put on an awesome program every year for the veterans.
And it's for everyone.
It's for everyone.
It's going to be in the Benny Ratliff Arena, the gymnasium, right?
But it'll be at 10 a.m. At 1:45, the Veterans Day program at Arthur Williams Middle School will be put on. and it's also in their gym. They also do an awesome job. The high school and both of the middle schools also always do a great job for their programs. And at 155, Martha Puckett Middle School, we're putting on their Veterans Day program. On Saturday at 9 a.m., we'll start off the day with the VFW Salute to Veterans at the Wayne County Courthouse down there where the monuments are. At 10 a.m., the American Legion will be doing theirs.
And this is all Saturday, right?
This is all Saturday.
All right, you start at 9 o'clock at the courthouse.
10 a.m. at Bill Morris Park at the wall out there where the American Legion has the wall. At 12 noon, we will be feeding the veterans at lunch at the VFW. That's sponsored by the Jessup Elks Lodge. At 3 p.m., like Charity said, we'll begin the parade lineup, and then at 4 p.m., the parade.
Yeah, another thing I want to mention real quick is on Friday at the football game, we have a couple sponsors, Tracy Brown and Vans Auto and Elks Lodge, and then Heartland Hospice of Jessup. And Nicole Landon put it on to where she wanted to do something to also honor our veterans. And they're actually sponsoring for the first 100 veterans will get into the football game for free.
All right, the first 100 veterans, and I guess they have to have an ID, or you just take their word?
You're supposed to get in touch with Nicole to get...
Yeah, Nicole Landon.
Okay, contact Nicole Landon at the high school if you want to be one of those first 100 veterans getting free.
They can also contact me, and I can let Nicole know as well.
Okay, and that's Charity at Remax Elite in downtown Jessup.
And they can call 912-559-2142.
Okay. And so if that's the first 100 veterans who want to get into the ball game, tomorrow night, the first round of state playoff game, they can get in contact with you. And Charity, once again, let's go ahead. That number for you in case the veterans want to get a hold of you.
912-559-2142.
And that's the number down there to Remax Elite.
Yes, sir.
Downtown Jessup.
They're honoring the veterans at the pregame show.
Yeah.
And they are going to honor the veterans at the pregame show.
Yeah.
Good for tomorrow night's ball game at JC Stadium. Just a lot of great Veterans Day events going on, put on by Remax Elite and the VFW, the American Legion, and so many other folks here in town. It's good that we're honoring these veterans. Yeah, it's just a great event.
And on behalf of all the veterans, I want to take time to really thank Donnie Ray and Sharon down at EMA and Charity
and so many other people.
And April down for really getting this ball going for us all this year. The veterans have, like I said before in the past, it's always been just mainly the VFW and the American Legion, and the Elks has jumped on board the last couple of years to honor the veterans. But with all this other help, it just makes all of us veterans in Wayne County feel like we really appreciate it, and we really appreciate all y'all's help.
And we do want to recognize April as the broker and owner of Remax Elite, who kind of started all this with the VFW.
Yeah.
And said that y'all wanted to help out.
Yeah.
And she said, all right, I got it started, Charity. You take it over.
It's been great, though.
Yeah. And so it's just a lot of events, a lot of things at the school tomorrow, and then all the Veterans Day events in Jessup on Saturday, with the parade starting at 4 o'clock, starting right in the middle of downtown Jessup on Cherry Street.
Yep.
All right, anything else, ladies? Bob, questions, comments for our ladies this morning on the Veterans Day events?
Well, I think she mentioned all the school events that the high school has theirs tomorrow. The arts and middle school programs have one. You have that list of those.
Yep. We're just excited.
Yep, just a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
And so, folks, let's honor our veterans. A lot of Veteran Days events tomorrow at the schools, and then starting at 9 o'clock at the courthouse and going pretty much most of the day through the luncheon, right?
Right.
And then the parade at 4 o'clock in downtown Jessup.
Make sure line up 3 o'clock. Don't try to come at 4 o'clock. Be there early for line
up early if you're in the parade. And can people just show up to be in a parade, or you need to know in advance?
No, by now it's okay. We've got a lot of entries, and they can still enter if they'd like through me, but they can just show up because we're going to have a paper up there to sign people up and put them in a place. So the more the merrier.
Yeah. The band's also going to be there. Forgot to mention the band.
The Wayne County High School band's going to be there. And as you mentioned in the past, there's always been more entries in the parade than spectators. So, folks, let's line those sidewalks and cheer those veterans on Saturday, beginning at 4 o'clock in downtown Jessup. All right, ladies, just congratulations and thank you for putting all this work into this Veterans Day parade activities on Saturday, with all the activities, and especially the parade at 4 o'clock.
And thank you for all the advertising you've done for us.
Anything we can do, that's what we're here for, yeah.
Thank you.
Everybody welcome. All right, y'all have a good day.
You too, thank you.
All right, we'll be back with more of the world-famous Butch and Bob Show in a minute.
It's the Wayne County Young Farmers Fall Truck Pull, Friday, November 10th and Saturday, November 11th at the J.C. Fairgrounds in Jessup. Join the Wayne County Young Farmers for lots of family fun and entertainment.
Get ready for the truck pull.
Watch the 2- and 4-wheel drive modified trucks, 2-wheel drive blower trucks, 2-wheel drive Pro Street trucks, the 4-wheel drive Pro Stock trucks, and the 4-wheel drive diesel trucks. The Wayne County Young Farmers Fall Truck Pull, Friday, November 10th and Saturday, November 11th at J.C. Fairgrounds in Jessup. Both Friday night and Saturday night, 7 p.m. Concessions will be available and no alcoholic beverages allowed. At the Jessup J.C. Fairgrounds, Highway 84.
Across from the Rangers Hotel in Jessup.
This Friday and Saturday night, 7 p.m. both nights. For more information, call Franklin Birch at 579-6647 or go to WCYF.net.
Big Dog Country, WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jessup. And Bob, you know, you just take computers for granted these days, but boy, when they go down, they just mess up the entire day, don't they?
I said they're fine when they work, but when they don't work,
Which just all comes to a standstill. It's like, you know. And so our programming computer for the FM yesterday went on the blink, and Jonathan worked hard on that, and so did Matt, and tried to get it all together, and we've got it back almost to 100%, and it was amazing yesterday. Luckily, we could channel the Westwood One with the country format through the board and keep that on during the day, and was able to get back to our regular programming. I think it was around 5 o'clock, wasn't it, Bob? Because I think we did have yesterday's afternoon sports.
The news on yesterday afternoon, so I said when they get to 12 o'clock news on, a lot of people calling.
Yeah, where was that? Computer problems. Anybody that has an office, which most everybody does today, of course, if that computer goes down, you know, work pretty much comes to a standstill on different parts of it. And ours yesterday was the programming on our FM station. The AM automation system was working just fine. It's just the FM automation system decided to have a big old hiccup. And we had to go everywhere. We had to go to the computer shop. We had to go to another radio station to get some parts. And got it all put back together with haywire duct tape. Hopefully it'll hold, Bob.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. All right, I did not get a chance to see any of the CMA awards last night. Did you get to see any of that?
I saw about the first hour and a half and went to bed.
Okay.
I was wore out.
You wore out?
It's been a long week already.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I saw. I said Carrie Underwood and Brad Paisley do a good job hosting it. So
They do, don't they?
That's the 10th year that they've hosted it. So just everybody had about that. It was just fun to see. And they always make fun of Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, and Tim McGraw and Faith Hill came back up and had a little comedy skit with them, so it was good.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, good show. Yeah. Good country music.
It was good. Huh?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Country music just putting on its best last night. I'll get a chance to see it sooner or later, either on the internet or somebody maybe have recorded or whatever. I just did not get a chance to see any of it. But I know that it's always a great show, the CMA Awards. Always a fantastic show, and we're proud to be able to play country music here on Big Dog Country Monday through Friday, and playing those good songs, not only the hits of today, but we also play some of those classic country hits from the last 30 years, too, from the legends of country music. And so keep tuned in to 105.5 FM as soon as we get back into our country music format starting at 9 o'clock. Of course, they'll be playing the hits from the show, talking about the award winners and what went on last night all day long right here on 105.5 FM. And let's see here, the Veterans Day activities tomorrow and Saturday, and this is a very big game coming up for Georgia on Saturday.
Biggest game of the year for sure. I mean, everybody's circled it. You know, most odds makers say Auburn's going to win the game.
They are?
I'm hearing that all year long. Yeah, Auburn's a good team. They're ranked.
Oh, they are a good team.
Ranked 10th, you know. But, you know, I think Georgia goes in there and gets the win, stays unbeaten, gets ready for that SEC championship game against Alabama. So there's some interesting games this weekend. Like I said, it's top 4 teams right now in the Bowls playoff is Georgia 1, Bama 2, Notre Dame 3, and Clemson 4, but all 4 have pretty big games this weekend. Georgia's Auburn, Alabama's at Mississippi State is having a good year at 7-2. Notre Dame has a big clash at undefeated Miami, and it should be fun to watch how all these games go. Clemson plays FSU at Clemson, and they're a 17.5-point favorite. Florida State season just derailed when they lost their quarterback in the first game of the season against Alabama. They're struggling at 3-5. Back to Bobby Biden's 88th birthday yesterday, and they talked about how Bobby Biden at Florida State never had a losing season. And Jimbo Fisher's at 3-5 this year, so he's under a little heat. Plus, he still has to play some tough teams down the road. So
they still have to play Miami, or they
still got to play. They still got to play Clemson. I think they played Miami, got beat by Miami. They still have Clemson. They have somebody else on the schedule. It's pretty tough. So, but they're just having a tough season. But happy birthday to Bobby Biden, 88 years old yesterday.
88, yeah. Wow.
Love Bobby Biden. Dadgum.
He was a great coach, great personality.
His famous press conference when Dion got in trouble at FSU, and they were getting on Bobby Biden. Wanted to know if they were going to punish Dion. I can't remember, he missed class or something, did something stupid, and they were just berating Bobby Biden at the press conference. What are you going to do about Dion? You're going to punish Dion. Dion needs to be punished. Why? You need to be tough. And he says, boys, you need to just calm down. Dion's going to be punished. We're just not going to punish him on Saturday. He's going to play Saturday.
We're going to skip that day.
We'll punish him through the week. But he's playing Saturday.
It's going to be a rough Monday for him.
But Bobby Biden, one of the more colorful coaches. Just a great guy.
And you've met him before when he came here to Jessup, right?
He came here.
He's been here recruiting.
Just, seen him several times. They talk about how well his memory is. And I said, players will go down there that played for him 10, 12 years ago, and he just knows them on a first-name basis. I mean, his memory is just incredible as far as knowing his players. But
his big recruit here was Mitchell, right?
He came and got Mitchell. He came and got Tony Owens. Tony Owens played for him.
Yeah.
So he's well known, and he's been on the sidelines at Wayne County several times.
Yes, he has. Yeah, coming down and looking at that talent many years ago.
88 yesterday. Happy birthday to Bobby Biden. But some big games this weekend. TCU, Oklahoma's a big game. Oklahoma's on the outside looking in. They don't play any defense, though. They beat Oklahoma State 62-55.
Yeah, what was that, a basketball game? Or
they got TCU this Saturday, so that'll be an interesting ball game. But I think the biggest interesting game is the Notre Dame-Miami game, because it's pretty much an elimination game as far as getting into the Final Four. If Miami stays unbeaten, they've got a chance to, get that Final Four with Mark Richt, first-year or second-year coach down there. But it's going to be interesting how it all plays out. Yeah, but Georgia's got the big game against Auburn.
Luckily, in that series, the visiting team usually wins. So Georgia's going to be on the road.
It's going to be interesting. It's funny listening to the guy coming in on AM 1370 Fox Sports. He said that Georgia will win because Auburn's coach is a terrible coach in big games. So,
okay.
So that made me feel better.
So the morning personality on our AM station, Fox Sports Radio 1370 AM, The Buzz.
That's one of his guests.
Said that, huh?
Yeah, he just had a guest in one of those prognosticators picking games. They asked him what he thought about the Georgia. He asked him about the three marquee games. And asked him about the Georgia-Auburn game. He says Georgia will win in the end because Gus Malzahn will find some way to mess it up.
Okay.
So we'll see. It is a big game for Georgia, and a big game for Kirby. You got that SEC championship game still looming, and Auburn's still alive in that SEC championship game. That's the funniest thing about the Auburn situation. Auburn, their coach is under fire because a lot of Auburn alumni don't like him. They want him to be fired.
Isn't that something? They're doing so good and they want him fired?
And if he wins against Georgia and then wins against Alabama, he has himself in the SEC championship game a possibility to get to the Final Four.
That's correct.
But if he loses to Georgia and loses to Alabama, they want him fired. They said he could lose 3 games this year.
Why? They just don't like him for some reason?
3 games that he would lose would be to Georgia, Alabama, and Clemson, and 3 of those 4 teams will be playing for the championship, but they want him fired.
And they want him fired. I mean, what does a coach have to do these days, huh? Jeez.
Tough gig, college coaching.
It is. Very tough gig.
But you make billions of dollars, they expect results.
They expect results. Yeah. But not not everybody can go, 11-0.
If Georgia loses this Saturday, you'll hear Georgia fans moaning and groaning.
I don't think we'll say moaning and groaning for Kirby, just being in his second year. I know that, Chuck Oliver, who's, we have on our AM station, AM 1370 on your AM dial, Fox Sports Radio, The Buzz, WWLP. Chuck Oliver talks college football every single day from 5 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and he's just super impressed with Georgia's defense. I mean, just super impressed with it.
You know how college football fans are. If Georgia loses to Auburn and Miami beats Notre Dame and Miami goes to the Final Four,
oh yeah,
you'll have
well, why do we let Rick go?
That's right.
Because he couldn't win the big games. He did about the first 3-4 years, he did real good, and then
he only won 10 games a year, so. 10 games wasn't good enough.
10 wasn't enough.
That shows you how college coaching is. That's the pressure. Big-time universities now, they want to win. They want to win big. They want to play for national championships, SEC championships. Mark Rick hadn't been to SEC championship for a while, so they made a decision to get rid of him.
Right.
But Miami's ecstatic, so they've got the big marquee game against Notre Dame. It's interesting to hear them talk about the Final Four. They're saying if Georgia beats Auburn but loses to Alabama and Notre Dame gets to their season with one loss, can they put Notre Dame ahead of Georgia, with Georgia and Notre Dame each with one loss, and Georgia beating Notre Dame? So
right.
It's interesting to hear all the conversations, who's getting in, who's not getting in. Wisconsin's down there undefeated in the Big Ten. They're saying that if they go undefeated, they're going to have to find a way to get them in. Oklahoma, it's a lot of football you have to be played, but it's fun to listen to them.
But it always seems to work out by the end of the season. There always seems to be some of the teams that you think may get those losses and things of this sort. So
what they're saying, everybody wants to expand. So the way for it to expand is Barry Alvarez's Wisconsin to go undefeated and not get in. Then he'll find a way to expand it to 8 because he's on the committee. So
right, put it to 8.
They want chaos at the end of the year. They want the undefeated Wisconsin sitting on the outside looking in.
Yeah. All that conversation. Somebody just remember, if you ever have any questions or comments during the world famous Butch and Bob Show or any other time, you can text us at 912-427-3711. Our main studio and business line is text enabled. And somebody wants to know what was the percentage that the SPLOST passed by here in Wayne County?
82%.
82%. 8 out of every 10 people who voted for the SPLOST, and it carried in every district, right?
Every precinct across the board. Which, I said that during election night. Wayne Countyans vote pretty much the same all the way across the county.
They do, don't they?
I said, as soon as we saw the first few precincts in, we knew whether or not it was going to pass or not. And the first 3 precincts said yes, and everybody else said yes. But yeah, it was 82% was the percentage on the SPLOST.
You got 8 out of 10 people who voted for the SPLOST. The continuation of it.
It was 82.42%, 1,613 yes, 344 no for 17.5% no. So that was the percentage breakdown. 82.42% yes, 17.5% no. So, like I said, less than 2,000 people voted, though. So that was the sad thing. You got 16,000 registered voters out there, and 1,600 decided to show up to vote.
Someone just texted in, advertising pays off. Good job, WIFO.
Good job to the committee. Good job to the
committees and all did that. Yeah.
I appreciate everybody coming on talking about how, I think the sign said it best. 1 cent makes sense. I think most people understand that,
Yeah, 1 cent makes sense. I mean,
you don't think about the penny when you go shopping. You just pay it. But as I mentioned, statistics showed about 30% of that money comes from outside the county, people that visit us. Just like when you go to Brunswick or Savannah, you pay their 1 cent tax and you don't think anything of it. So why not get what's fair for the goose is fair for the gander, as they say. So
it'll be for the next 6 years, starting next year. They've already got the list of the projects they're going to be working on. Debts are going to be paid off, new projects. Everybody will benefit from Wayne County, all of Wayne County, and of course the cities of Jessup City of Jessup and Scriven and Odom. There was a good laundry list of items that the county needed. And this is what people say is the fairest tax, the sales tax.
If you listen to these government officials come on the Butch and Bob Show, they've talked about how the state continues to cut.
They do cut.
Without the 1 cent sales tax for Wayne County, the county like us would be very, strapped for cash, which we already are. But I'm just glad it's being continued for 6 more years. $21 million expected to generate. So, like I said, they got a list of projects to do, get that hospital bonds paid off, which will be a big lift for the county. Once they get that paid off, then they can, it's just like the schools. The school has, built all the buildings, and now they've got another East Block coming up in November. If they get that passed, then they can work on other things like bus fleets, technology, things like that.
Right, so better buses, technology.
There's always
redoing James E. Bacon a little bit, refurbishing it.
I was surprised that, somebody asked me, I thought it'd be 70-30, but 80% is pretty strong for the Splost.
I'm not going to ask this question, but I could ask this question. It's a personal question for Bob. I don't know if he'd want that asked on the air, so I'm not going to do that. I am not going to put Bob on the air with that. No. I'm going to cut the mics off and tell him what it is. Nope, he's not going to answer it. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's just personal information there, so. All right, to 827, 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country, WIFO. And, of course, I know everybody's looking forward to that first round of state playoff game tomorrow night at JC Stadium between our Wayne County Yellow Jackets, region champs, taking on Thomas County Central. Good interview with the coach and comments on it this morning.
That's it. This coach show's been fun. Coach Cribb, I hope everybody that's a football fan listens to that coach show before the game on Friday, because
starts at 6 p.m.
He's very insightful. He has a lot of knowledge. It's just fun to talk to. I've just enjoyed the coach's show with Coach Cribb. And I said, just enjoyed him being here from day one. He's just a breath of fresh air. Brought a great coaching staff in here. The kids that bought in. Been a fun year. I told people, I said, I'm having a great year. Georgia's winning, Wayne County's winning, Pittsburgh's winning. So it's been a fun football season for me. But looking forward to that second round matchup. I'm curious to see who's going to win that game. Reading the matchup between Jones County and Griffin. It's interesting that Jones County's head coach used to be on the Griffin coaching staff. So it's a big matchup. Both teams are 9-1 heading into this Friday night's game.
Wow, both of them.
We'll get the winner of that ball game. A lot of people believe it's going to be Jones County coming here next Friday night, but I'm just hoping and praying somehow Griffin finds a way to win that game, because just like I told Coach Ricky yesterday, I just want a little revenge on Griffin for stealing that playoff game up there in Griffin.
The refs won the stole.
Well, that was at their ballpark.
Well, it was at their ballpark. It's not like they did something. Unless they were real good friends with the ref, but we don't know.
I still got a picture of that TOC shot with Anthony Jordan in the end zone with that
He
ball.
was in the end zone, yeah. The ref said he wasn't in the end zone. There's all kinds of pictures saying he was in the end zone.
If you went to that game, they had one of those obnoxious PA announcers as well.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, he was just over the top. And people say, how did you know that it was a touchdown? Because I tell the story, he turned his microphone off. He was standing like 10 feet from me and Joe.
Right.
He looked there and says, man, y'all just got robbed.
He did. So the announcer for Griffin just looked at us and said, y'all got robbed. He even knew it was a touchdown.
Everybody knew on that side of the field was a touchdown. So.
And if we'd have got that touchdown, we would have won the game. We would have gone on and played in Carrollton. Griffin just beat the turkey out of Griffin, out of Carrollton. We'd have done the same thing. We could have won a state championship. Yeah. All right, Bob, we got to go. All right. Big Dog Catcher Radio, WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jessup. And coming up soon, I'll give away some tickets to the Wayne County Young Farmers Truck and Tractor Pull to be held tomorrow night and Saturday night at the JC Fairgrounds. It is 8:30. Let's check in the latest news from Fox.